So Deliver Fund is a nonprofit. Now, I like how you said, Mr. Ramon, about technology. Raise your hand if you got kids. I don't yet. Okay, that's a lot of kids. Okay. Raise your hand if they got Snapchat. Better raise your hand online if you know. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of people. Did you know that you can trace the location of your child through Snapchat on a hotspot preference when they want to find their friends? Yep. Did y'all know that?
Yes.
Okay, raise your hand if you knew that. Raise your hand if you didn't know that. Okay, did you know that they can do and download proxy apps to where they can do cash for free where you can't trace it, and they can also have tokens for free and you can't trace it, and I can find an 11-year-old who can figure it out in 2 minutes faster than some people that are cyber experts, okay? All right, technology, and I'm glad Mr. Ma talked about that, is super important. You have to have that conversation with your kids, okay? I kind of lobbied for a cell phone for one sixth grader, but then the mom settled with an Apple Watch. I think that's better. The Apple Watch is better because you can't put in as many apps. But cybercrime is something we all need to tell our legislators and our city councils and our congressmen from White House, Wall Street, Main Street. We need more cyber over everything because it's just like foreign policy, right? They use cyber, same thing with crime. So thank you for highlighting that, Mr. Mata. And I want to talk to now Mr. Ammons. Your nonprofit Deliver Fund does do some high-tech stuff with cyber. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you guys do?
So at Deliver Fund, we use technology to disrupt human trafficking and find the victim. We have 2 proprietary platforms, which is LTIP and Pathfinder, which Pathfinder stands for the Platform for the Analysis and Targeting of Human Trafficking, and LTIP is the labor trafficking side of that. And so with technology, we are able to, which we aren't monitoring every second of every day of cell phones, but we're able to navigate and find people within 11 centimeters of where they are. We are able to use cross-jurisdictional mapping in order to find people, and we train law enforcement. We've trained in over 20 states now, and over 5 federal jurisdictions, and so they are able to use what one law enforcement agency in their geographical area is able, when a trafficker moves, they are able to see that, and it cross-references all those. So we have analysts. We have an analyst actually embedded in the Houston Police Department, and that's part of the reason that the trafficking has gone down in Houston. With the number of traffickers we see has gone up, but the number of trafficking victims we see has lowered. We are working in Dallas to get that as well, because when an analyst is embedded, although they're a Deliver Fund employee, when they're embedded and dedicated to that police department, we have seen trafficking numbers go down. So we use technology in order to map throughout, whether you're Houston Police Department, Dallas Police Department, Chicago, all the way up to Montana. If the trafficker is moving, we are finding them, and it is able to be cross-jurisdictional, which is a big difference as opposed to staying in that one jurisdiction or one police department. So working together with law enforcement and training them on both LTIP and the Pathfinder technology.
Thank you. And it's a nonprofit, correct?
Yes, it is a nonprofit. We do all the fundraising so that law enforcement officers get trained. We don't count on any government funding because we don't want to rely on that. So all our police officers are trained through fundraising dollars. Our Pathfinder technology, the software development, it's through fundraising dollars. All of it is through fundraising in order, so we're not relying on government's help. It's so we can delve deeper and have our own proprietary technology and not rely on the government to help us out and stop more traffickers.
And we thank you for that. Thank you.